What's up, everyone? CryptoSavy here. I hope everyone's having a fabulous day. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin and Litecoin. Will this pump continue, or are we going to dump? What's going on? We're going to take a look at that. Also going to take a quick look at Dow Jones, silver, and gold before we begin. Definitely stick around. Should be a great video. Also, I want to remind you guys, leave your comments in the comment section down below to get you entered to win a free t-shirt. We do a random comment pick on Sunday. Also, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed. We do daily updates every single day. Let's get on with the video. All right, guys. As always, I want to remind you I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, investing advice, trading advice, none of that. There is a disclaimer on the bottom. Read it, and remember, this is my opinion, not yours. Let's get into it. Looking at the Fear and Greed Index, we are at neutral at 50. We raised 8 points from yesterday, obviously, because we had our little pump. We'll take a look at what's going on, but first I want to take a look at the Dow Jones, and we are at 28,989. We did come down a little bit towards the end of last week. I still have these targets up here, and let's take a look at how I got them. First one, looking at, let me zoom in so you guys can see this. First one is a measured move of this broadening wedge here. If we put that up to the top, that gets us right up to the 32,350, right in that range. I still believe we're most likely headed up here. May have a little correction, tap back down to here, the 2800, and test it, continue up. But the next measured move, and then I'm going to show you how I put it together. Looking at this broadening wedge and putting it up to the top, gets us to the 35 to right in that range. And looking down here at the RSI, you guys know I love my RSI. Looks like it could be, and this is just a possibility of how I think this may play out, and I'll show you real quick. This could be an inverse head and shoulders here forming. I have it drawn in here. If we put it over here, something like this, and how that would look, if I'm correct, is we get our move up here to the 32.3, come back, retest, and then come up to the 35.2 range. Will we surpass that? Who knows? Will they keep printing money? Who knows? But as of now, this would be the top, in my opinion. That'll, obviously, if it changes, I'll let you guys know. Let's look at silver. So silver, we've been looking at this as a possible Adam and Eve here, with the neckline right in the $20.70 area. The measured move, if that comes to be true, you would measure the depth of the Eve right here, or the Adam, bring it up to the neckline. If we were to break the neckline, we could be looking at $27.62, right in that range. Again, guys, these targets are not exact to the penny, and we're not going to see, that's going to take some time. It's not going to shoot up one green candle. Let's take a look at the more immediate price, and remember, this is on the daily. So we still have our target there of 1970, and that is just a measured move of this falling wedge here. Put it up to where we broke out. That gets us our 1970. Keep in mind, we could have a correction here. If we look at the RSI, depending on how high we go here, we may create hidden bearish divergence. But I still believe we could hit this 1970 within the next month or so. And the next measured move I have, which would be breaking that neckline, would be measuring this as a flagpole. This whole thing is the bull flag. And we measure the flagpole here, put it up to the top where we break out. Would get us up to around the 2214. And just to show you how this might look if it plays out the way I believe it's gonna, is from here, we may correct a little bit, come back up, break that neckline, come back down, and then move on up from there. That is what I'm seeing. Like I said, I'll keep you updated on that. Let's look at gold. So gold, we are getting resistance again at our old target that we did overshoot just a little bit. We are getting hidden bearish divergence, but we could continue up. That could erase, we could get a huge move up. But believe we're most likely going to have a correction back down to this 15 area, possibly all the way back down to the top of this flagpole and around the 200 EMA, which is going to be around 1450. Keep that in mind. We could go there before moving on up to our next targets. But let's take a look at those, where I got this target. But looking at this whole thing as a flagpole, this is a bull flag with the break. That gets us up to that $1,740 range. So that's what I'm looking at with gold. Let's move on to Bitcoin. We're still looking at this 9,200. If we are able to close, and I don't think it's going to happen, but who knows, this is Bitcoin. If we're able to close 9,200, above 9,200 on the monthly, I think it's off to the races. Most definitely, we are breaking out of this channel at that point. So it will be an interesting monthly close. Let's look at the weekly, and I will show you what's going on with this if you haven't seen it. So let's take the Fibonacci extension from this swing high to the swing low over here, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. As you can see, last year's pump got us right to the golden pocket zone between the 0.65 and 0.618. And if we do the same thing and we have hit bottom here, like I believe we have, if we have, and that is the bottom, the 0.618 of this is around 11.1. If that breaks, then it's definitely breaking this, and we are starting a massive bull run. But if not, I do believe we could get a rejection there, and we could see something like this and come back up to that golden pocket zone, come back down, test this one more time around the $8,000 range, 7,900, bam, and then go on from there. That is what I'm looking at. Like I said, I do daily updates. Make sure you subscribe, tick the notification bell to get notified, and yeah, let's move on to, dang it, let's move on to the RSI. Looking at the weekly RSI, right, we have this red trend line down here, which has been support and resistance. You can't see it in here because the data don't go but that back that far on Coinbase. But we capitulated through this, came back up, broke back through, and this was back in 2013. We came back through in 2015, broke through, came back down, tested it for support, and continued on with our bull run of 2017. Then we had our bear market, capitulated under that same trend line again, broke back above it, came back down, tested for support, and I do believe we have bottomed and will continue from here. Not to say that we're not going to have some more downward movement, but I do believe the bottom is in. Again, guys, I could be wrong. Let's look at this on the daily. Looking at this as a rising wedge. As you guys know, excuse me. Let's look at the EMAs real quick. We are having a nice move up right now. We are correcting back a little bit. Let me move this up just in case. We could be forming another falling wedge here, but if we look at the EMAs, we are getting support on the daily at the 8 EMA, which is bullish, guys, and they're turning back up here. So we may continue this move up a little bit, and I'll show you my targets. I still have this target down here at around the 80.70 that I do believe we are most likely going to come down to. That lines up with the 55 EMA. Like I said, we'll go into the 4-hour, take a closer look, then we'll move on to Litecoin. And don't forget, we have a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out. It's totally free. Great community, guys. And there's also some other affiliate links on there that really help the channel out. And if you guys are interested in trading, I have a Bybit tutorial. I'll leave that up top. And I have a Bybit link and a Prime XBT link down below. When you sign up using my link, you get a bonus. So yeah, you get free money to trade with. You can't withdraw it, but you can trade with it and make money off of it. So anyways, so it's no risk. If you want to sign up, get your free crypto for trading, trade it, no loss if you lose it. And if you are trading, don't put in more than you're willing to lose, guys. Don't trade crazy high leverage. That's just gambling. All right, so looking at this rising wedge, our measured move down from here, guys, is the 72.30 range right in there, which is also the 0.618 of this whole move here from top to bottom, the Fibonacci retracement, it gets us down to the 7238 zone. And the reason I've been saying I think the bottom is in, guys, because I do believe this wick here was a stop hunt. And if you look over here, people that went long here would have had their stop loss just under there. This wick would have came down, ate their stop losses, and continued up. Even though it does look pretty bullish here, guys, we're going to look at areas if we are able to cross. If we cross the 9200, we're most likely headed up to some higher targets, and I'll show you those too. But I do believe we are still going to correct from here a little bit before continuing up. Let's look at the worst case scenario that I have in here, and that's the 0.786 retracement of this whole move, and that's 5400. Always keep that in mind. It is possible, even though I believe this is the bottom. If that breaks, 5400 is a 0.786 retracement, and it's definitely a possibility, guys. Keep that in mind. Let's look at the 4 hour now. Let me zoom out so you can see what I got here. So on the 4 hour, I have this falling channel in here, this being the support, this line being the resistance, and I also drew these lines off of these peaks up here where I believe we'll probably get resistance when we get up into them. But let's look at what I'm seeing here. I do have this target up to 10.4. That would be an extended fifth wave if we do continue up there. But before that, we have to see what's going on here. So looking at the RSI, guys, you guys remember we've had this rising channel that we were in the white here. We see this rising broadening wedge that we watched for like a week for it to break through. It finally broke down, came back down, tested the bottom of the channel. We actually broke below it just a little bit, popped back in, got support on it, and continuing up. I believe that it's most likely we're going to come all the way up here and test the bottom of this rising broadening wedge here, and that will get us up to one of these targets here, and I will show you that now. So if we look at it, we have finally broken through the 0.5 retracement, and that retracement is from the top here down to the bottom here. We're sitting right at the 0.5. Our next stop is going to be right around the 0.618, which is going to be around the 8830 range, right in there. We could correct right from there and then come back down towards this 8070 range that I've been waiting for quite some time. If we break through this, we could be coming up to this 8990, $9,000 range, which would be testing this resistance line again. So keep that in mind there. This is a no trade zone for me. I'm looking for a longer swing trade here. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Do you think we're gonna break this high of 92? I'll leave a card up top. Let me know if you think we're gonna break the 92 or we're gonna correct more from here before continuing up. And as I've showed you guys in the last few videos, I do believe that this is wave 3 and we're making wave 4 if you guys are into Elliott wave. You know, I don't use a lot of Elliott wave. I don't use it for predictions, but I used to use it a lot. I still like to, you know, kind of every once in a while I put it in. It's not a bad tool to have in your toolbox, but to depend on it, I think it's ridiculous. But if this was the end of wave 4 here, you know, then we're going to continue up, blow through this 92. But in my opinion, I think we're going to come down at least to this 8070 range. If that breaks, guys, we'll most likely come back down and test the neckline right here around 7650, right in that area. Get that out of the way. But remember, we do have this target down here of this falling wedge. If we don't break this 92, we could come all the way back down to the 7324 area, which would be the 0.786 retracement of this wave 3. Keep that in mind. I don't believe that's going to happen, but Bitcoin does what it wants. Let's look at yesterday's targets. So we have hit that. If you guys watched the live stream, I had this on there yesterday. We went a little above it. I had the target at 8726. We went a little higher. The next target would be 8821, which would be this trend line off of these wicks here. Definitely possible. Next stop, like I said, is around the $9,000 range. So keep that in mind. That's what we're looking at. Let's look at Litecoin on the daily. So if we look at this, you can see the falling wedge in white here. If we took a measured move of that, target's 78.72, which would line up, not quite break this high over here. That is possible we go up that high. I don't think we're going to, but I do want you guys to keep that in mind. Let's zoom in a little bit. I have these two targets here. We'll look at that in let's go to the 4 hour. That'll be a little bit easier to see. Pull up the 4 hour. There we go. And I did the same thing just like in Bitcoin. The Fibonacci retracement from the swing high to the swing low. We are almost at the 0.618 Fibonacci. That's going to be around 58.35. We might start our correction there. If not, the next stop's going to be this 0.786, which is at 60.55. If we make it that high, most likely coming down to test these lower targets. We may even come down to test this neckline at $49 range. If we go past that 49 when we come back down, then we're looking more towards the $44 range, which would be the top, retesting the top of this wedge. Keep that in mind. That's definitely a possibility, guys. Like I said, I'll do daily updates, keep you guys updated. I'll probably be doing a live stream when I get home tonight. But that's what I'm looking at here. And if we do end up going past this $63 range, this old high over here, next stop is going to be around the 66. After that, it's that 78 target. And if that happens, you know, we could be creating some type of inverse head and shoulders, just like on Bitcoin. We've talked about that quite a bit in the big picture. If we looked at it as coming from here, left shoulder, head, we do come up, back up to even that 10.4, come back down and make a right shoulder. That could, you know, this would be make this bottom over here right around the halving time. So keep that in mind. That's definitely a possibility, guys. No matter how high we go here, I think we're still going to correct back down into this area. So keep that in mind. Don't FOMO in or, you know, get all worried about Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin's doing just fine, doing what it's supposed to do. Everybody that is a true believer in Bitcoin, I don't think has any worries here. The charts look great. I know there's a lot of FOMO going around. Just watch who you listen to, guys, and remember, most people on here have an agenda, especially with their altcoins and stuff like that. As you guys know, I don't believe in altcoins. That's my opinion. Do what you got to do, but make sure if you're going to look into that stuff, look into what Bitcoin and blockchain really is, and just make sure you know that the decentralization, most other stuff is centralized. Everybody jumped on the blockchain bandwagon after Bitcoin started succeeding without anybody leading it. It just, you know, Bitcoin is totally different than all the other crap that people are trying to just make money off of. Dump it on your ass and buy more Bitcoin, in my opinion. But anyways, have a great day, guys. Don't forget to click the CryptoSavy logo above my head to get you subscribed to the channel. Tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. That also gets you entered to win a free t-shirt. Let me know where you think we're headed. Take it easy. I'm out. Take it easy, guys.